Okay. So, as it turns out, I didn't finish the Dwarf and Qitari quest lines, and there's one more quest for us to do. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, both of those today. And because we finished the main storyline, but then there's still one more tier. What's the right word for it? One more level to do for them. To get to Bloodsworn. I thought that we were on, because the story was done, I thought we were done with the ranks. Apparently not. So we're gonna go ahead and do both of those today. We're gonna start with the Dwarf one, and let's go ahead and talk to Ranit. It's been quite a while since we talked to him on stream. But I know, like, recently I'm actually uploading them right now. But it's been like, I think last one was in like February or something. It's August now. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to Ranit and do this last quest. Thanks for the memory. Ranit looks primed to fire a particularly cheery dwarven greeting in your general direction. Just who I was hoping to see. Lally-ho to you, Brillian. Lally-ho! Aha! A fine lally-ho if I ever heard one. Since the last time we spoke, we've been busier than ever. Our first paying customers, Irova and Kobleva, have already started using rolling tankards to ferry their goods about. So far, there've been no reports of any horrendous accidents or anything, which is a relief. Well, we'll be aiming for the same high-level quality for the rest of the tanks, and thanks to our new friends, word's getting around fast. Orders have been flying in thick and fast. This is going better than I ever dreamed. This calls for a celebration. Of course, it wouldn't be the same without all the others, so I'll go and round them up. In the meantime, why don't you go over to Clearmelt and wait with Lorethia? Okay, sounds good to me. We just gonna party? I don't have a problem with that. Watch him call her old hag one more time. Oh, I see you're the opposite of what they call fashionably late. Since you're here, you can help me get everything ready. Uh-oh. See, this is why you don't come early to parties, kids. They'll rope you into doing everything for you. For them. I'm surprised you resisted the temptation to start digging in before we got here. I bet you ain't never seen a feast like this. We've got the best grub Novront has to offer. Yolis and Siluk even brought a keg of their famous ale over from Wright. But how did they carry something so heavy all the way, I hear you cry? Why, with a rolling tankard. Yeah, that's right. By tank, of course. Those things might be armed to the teeth with some of the world's most advanced weaponry, but it's what they carry that makes the real difference. People across the land can get what they need when they need it. Not to mention a few of life's luxuries, too. It seems all of our hard work has paid off. To think that right is at long last able to produce its own ale again. Thanks to you and Ranit, we've had the best barley crop in years. Even our very first batch has earned the approval of our villagers' most demanding beer aficionados, and due to the much improved quality of the soil, we have begun to grow our own fruit, the juice of which we've brought for younger ones and teetotalers as to enjoy. Alright, everyone, it's time for a toast. So raise a tankard of ale or a tankard of juice if you're muling whelp like granite. Ozog, please. Watch it, Ozog, or you'll be wearing that drink of yours. Ahem. To the continued success of Watt's Anvil and all of our friends. Cheers! The years of struggle and adversity seem a distant memory to the inhabitants of the First as they strive for a better tomorrow. In particular, the dwarves of Calusia will have a vital role to play in the days to come, with their ingenuity and diligence paving the way to unlimited possibilities. And even after the dishes were cleared away, the celebrations continued. Shush there, mish. You don't seem drunk in the slightest. I would just say I like to shake. Oi, cover, at least finish your sentence before you fall asleep. I think what he means is, we all owe you a heartfelt thanks, especially Renee. After you show up, he wouldn't say it's Buddha Goosh. And now, he's turned into a great leader. Much to be from following your example. We know you've got the other people out here who need you. Sure, it would be selfish to expect you to stay, but you've gratefully time you've spent with us. It means a lot. It really does. And if you're ever passing through, be sure to pay us a visit. Anyway, we'd best be heading back to the anvil. Safe travels. Oh, and make sure you say goodbye to Elusla and Shy Luke before you leave. Therefore, they've been meaning to speak with you. I need to pick a voice and a style and just stick with it for each of them. So I just changed. The thing is, the text seemed to kind of change halfway through for the yellow dwarf. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk to everyone, and then we'll talk to Euless. Who does she think she is, calling me a mewling whelp? I don't even know what that means, but I assume it's an insult. Sure. This ale from Right really hits the spot. When I heard they've been bringing worms over from Armor Ring for us to eat, I thought they'd be gone barmy, but having tasted them, I can see the appeal. It's always the worms. I must say, this is quite the gathering. Oh, there you are. Euless and I were just talking about you. We were wondering if the ale was to your liking, and then it occurred to me that you may not even drink in the first place. Do you, partake in the odd tipple? Nope, never touched the stuff. I've never been known to wet my whistle on occasion. You can't buy love, and you can buy alcohol. Which is better? Nah. I mean, we've seen this character drink before. Yes, and no doubt the volume varying in accordance with the nature of said occasion. A happy one, such as this, calls for more than a mere sip or two, I dare say. Can I say, Siluk, how wonderful it is to see you in such high spirits. You're like a changed man. A change? We have you to thank for, Brillian. Considering all you've done for us in our village, I cannot imagine how we will ever repay you. So, if there is aught you need, just say the word. My sentiment exactly. I dread to think what would have become of us without your intervention. Yes, and we owe a debt of gratitude to Master Renit as well. Thanks to him and his automaton, my father's dream has long last come true. If we take a leaf out of Renit's book, by combining ingenuity with hard work, there is nothing we cannot achieve. Good for you. Maybe the next time you come to write, we will have something new to show you. Our doors are always open, so don't be a stranger. Ah, I almost forgot to ask. But have you spoken with Ozog? It seems there is something she would like to discuss with you. What, you want to plan the wedding? Well, we'll be taking it one step at a time. If we continue our efforts, right will go from strength to strength. Okay, Ozog, what do you want to talk about? Have you eaten your fill, Brillian? I'm sure she has room for some more. Have you tried these wrigglers from En Meringue? If you can pluck up the courage, they're quite delicious. Yeah, I can't get enough of them. No, I've had my share of those worms. Just thinking about them is making me queasy. Come on, live a little. It's like I always say, youth is wasted on the young. Yes, and it'll be even more of a waste if a gifted engineer like me chokes to death on some godforsaken worm. I've got to look after myself if I want these plans of ours to come to fruition. Anyway, Loretha, I'll bet your best years are still ahead of you. In fact, why don't you come and help out at Watt's Anvil? It's gonna be better than drinking tea and soaking in hot springs all day. When you get to my age, you'll learn to appreciate things like that. You mark my words. Still, it wouldn't do to let my skills get rusty. I suppose I could pop over and do a spot of welding from time to time. Actually, Brillian, there's something I want to say to you. For most of my life, I've been living according to the others' expectations without thinking about what I want. But thanks to you, I've made up my mind. Like you, I'm going to pursue my own goals, my own dreams. That's why I've decided to carry on here, where I can express myself and be who I want to be. Rather than wasting my time being bound by traditions and rules, I want to be free to go where I please and do as I please. But don't you want to go back to your village? All the Thulls have permission to travel between Tomra and the Anvil whenever they want. What about you? Well, it's not as though I've been banished. Not yet, anyway. Oh. I can hardly go back to Comra now, can I? From this day forth, I am no longer a Gog. I shall live only as Ozog, descendant of Watts himself. I answer to no one. Neat. But you can't just take off your helmet like that. It's indecent. I think he's just getting flustered from the sight of a pretty girl. How can he expect to beat me in a battle of wits if he turns into a babbling buffoon every time I take my helmet off? What's hammer's as good as mine? That reminds me, I should get started on my next creation and prove my superiority once and for all. Time to head back to the anvil. And it looks like I might be joining you sooner rather than later. You youngins have brought me some much-needed excitement, and I can't wait to see what you'll come up with next. I didn't expect her to take her helmet off. This certainly makes a difference from the usual crowd we have at Clearmelt. Well, let's head on back to the Watts Anvil and finish up this quest. Yeah, I didn't expect Uzog to take off her helmet. I actually expected it was more likely that Ranit would. But I guess Ozog is more of the rebel, so it would make a little more sense for her to do it, not Ranit. Alright, Ranit, let's wrap things up. That Ozog, ain't she got no shame? Just because she don't want to go back to Comra, there's no need to expose herself like that. I know you ain't a Thol or Gog, so I don't expect you to understand. But you agree with me, don't you? This is the worst thing that has ever happened in Lakeland. The worst thing. You should take off your helmet, too. You might find it liberating. Yeah, let's do it. We met Giot during the role quests. What? No, absolutely not. Never. I'd rather lose my whole damn head than remove my helmet. Grr. This is all Uzog's fault. She has a bloody good talking to. But that can wait. Bugger it. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Something about thanking you, or whatever it was. Well, I suppose I should express my gratitude for sticking with me through thick and thin, even when it looked like the whole plan was gonna blow up in my face. I know sometimes I can get a bit jealous of you having so many talents compared to me, being the savior of the bleeding world and all that. But I know you ain't doing it to steal my thunder. You're just trying to be a good friend, and you are. The very best. Bloody hells! Keep this up and I'll start bawling like a newborn. Anyway, the struggle to get those tanks might be over, but me, Ozog, and the others will still carry on here. So if you ever feel like showing off your skills of yours, you know where to come. In the meantime, best of luck with the saving the world or whatever you'll be doing. Thanks for the memories. Reputation has increased to Bloodsworn. Reputation is increased to Bloodsworn. Save experience, yeah. That wasn't maxed, haven't maxed all my crafters, and this would be a little more useful. Now, let's see, I do believe I get something new for getting Bloodsworn. Yeah. I get the emote. Because I remember I looked up the emote, or I had seen that emote, I'm like, wait, I've finished this tribal quest, how come I can't do it? Why don't I have this? You know, I was kind of wondering if we actually got this as an emote, because I've seen the dwarves doing this. Or just some of the NPC dwarves doing that. I was just kind of wondering if we could get it. Anyway, that's the end of the dwarf quests. Let's head on over to Raktika and do the Qitari quest, the last Qitari quest. Go ahead and update the stream text too. Last time on the Qitari quests, we wrapped up the storyline, and we were able to cure them of their disease or whatever. Forget exactly. It's been a while. Well, let's see if Jakaro Katol can remind us what we did. Glory be the Scree. Jakaro Katol is pondering the history of Ronka and his people. Oh, brilliant! On behalf of all the stewards, I thank you for your tireless efforts. You have our sincere gratitude. Indeed, we Qitari must bear the responsibility of having spread the pox to these parts of the forest. Finally, we have brought this painful chapter of our history to a close, and we could not have done so without your invaluable aid. At first, I feared we might damage our relation with the Knights Blessed and the Vis beyond repair. Instead, we have managed to overcome the plague together, and in doing so, the time-tested bonds between our peoples are stronger than ever before. I travel to Slitherbow and Fanau all the time to share tidings from the forest with my newfound friends. And with the guidance of the Great Serpent, we have reclaimed the long-lost knowledge, not just of our kind, but of the great Ronka itself. In studying the restored Stella, I have had occasion to reflect and ruminate on the history of the Empire. It truly was a great civilization, controlling and exerting influence over all of ancient Novront. It was a civilization of great enlightenment, welcoming myriad people and uniting them under a single banner to live in peace and prosperity. Hume and Vis, Qitari and Ronso, living side by side and working towards a common good. The artistic and academic accomplishments of the Empire were many, and yet this, its greatest strength, would also prove its downfall, or so my theory holds. As the Empire expanded and the years went on, strong friendships and alliance began to turn sour. Small disagreements flared into all-out conflicts, and Ronka, once akin to a mighty tree that seemed as if it would stand forever, began to splinter from within. I imagine Ronka in its final years, withered and dying. No doubt the Emperor sat on his throne, waiting in vain for the arrival of one who would restore his empire to its former glory. Waiting for the ally of Ronka. Compared to the long and storied history of Ronka, my own 3 years seem insignificant, as a drop of water in a great gushing river. I understand the sentiment, my boy, but it is not so. While the lifespan of any one Qitari may be short, we must never underestimate the value of our shared knowledge and wisdom, accumulated through our many experiences and recorded for the sake of posterity. Just as our forefathers did their part to shape the course of Ronkan history, so too will the discoveries you have made serve to forge the future of our people and the Great Wood itself. But we must not forget our friends and allies, without whose aid we may not have survived to see this day. Might I trust you to convey your gratitude to them on my behalf, Jakaro? But of course, father, consider our gratitude conveyed. Ho ho, ever learning. I see, Berlian. Might I trust you to escort my son to Fanau? I would not be able to forgive myself if anything unfortunate happened to him on this day of triumph. Come, Berlian. Master Lenil was overjoyed to see us, I'm sure. I don't know how I remember these voices. Because again, it's been well, not again. This is a separate video. It's been months since I did the last quest for this. And to think the Vis all but scared my whiskers off when we first met. I must say, I'm happy to call them friends today. The Qitari excavation was a success, and the sickness that plagued the forest has been subsided. They are good tidings indeed. So why is it I cannot feel a little bit sad? What I would not give to see the Stella with my own eyes. Sadly, at the moment, my duties keep me here. It pleases me to hear that all went well in the stubble. We are honored to have done our small part to be of service to our Qitari friends. Never did I think I would live to see this age-old alliance of Ronka rekindled. For us as well, Master Laniel. From ancient rituals to the remedies that eased our pain in trying times, there is so much wisdom that we learned from you. I am certain that this is only the start of a long and fruitful friendship. You are wise beyond your years, my young friend, and there is much that you and your people have already taught us. Promise that you will continue to share with us your gleanings from history, that we might put them to use ourselves in protecting and preserving our forest home. It would be an honor. All's well that ends well, yes. And now I do believe it is time has finally come that I stop tarrying and take to the road. Are you going somewhere, my good Madam Fina? I will depart on a journey that has been far too long in the making. I intend to travel beyond the Great Wood's reach in search of Vis who live scattered across the lands, and they might join us here in Ronka in Raktika to together preserve and pass down the wisdom of Ronka. Finau has always been my home, and it will not be easy for me to leave it behind, and yet I will leave with the knowledge that the forest is in good hands. Promise me that you will not let Siuna get into too much trouble, yes? I dare say you are the one who needs looking after, sister. Perhaps I should accompany you. Rest assured, I am more than capable of taking care of myself. Forgive me if I refrain from stepping in the midst of a sibling squabble. Go in safety, Fina, and when the azure blooms will guide you home. Thank you, Master Laniel. I will return. And with that, I had best be off. Before I find another reason to delay my journey any longer, young Jakarl, brilliant, promise me you will be well. Fina. And you as well, Siuna. No matter how far my journey may carry me, know that a part of me is always here with you. And with you, sister. That was sweet. And she finally stopped dilly-dallying. Saying goodbye is not easy, is it? But it is time we return to the road again ourselves. We must pay respect to Valen and Quintford, after all. Very well. We will not keep you any longer. Do pass along our respects to our friends in Slitherbow. I was not certain what to think of that Quintford at first, but he has proved a loyal friend. But of course, should you ever have time, do come visit Father and I. Nothing would make me happier than to be able to show you around the stubble. And this is the first pile of leaves, and this is the second pile of leaves. That concludes our tour of the stubble. Like, what is there to show besides the actual Stella? Anyway, let's head over to Slitherbow. Go ahead and teleport. Make things a little quicker. Okay. Ernar's still waiting for Ishtola. Ah, it is the great Quinford. In addition to the medicine I offered in invocation to the great serpent in the name of each and every one of the afflicted, judging from the spring in Valen's step, I dare say my prayers were heard. Sure, Quinford. Is that the great serpent of Ronka? Master Valen, are you certain you should be up and about like this? Have no worries, my friend. I am feeling like my old self again. I hear that all is well again in the stopple too. That's truly a relief. I shudder to think what would have happened to all of us here in the Great Wood if you hadn't made your discovery. Truly, we owe a debt of gratitude to your ancestors and their wisdom. And truly, we are all owe a great debt to the great serpent of Ronka. By those divine auspices, young Jakarl was led to the stela, in which the cure was inscribed. Yes, praise be the serpent, praise be. Do you think you could keep your voice down a bit? Some of us are still recuperating from a life-threatening plague, you know. Speaking of which, Jakarl, whatever made you think that little fellow was the great serpent in the first place? When Quintford first started rambling on to that end, I thought he might finally lost the last of his wits. An excellent question, Valen, and one I have been giving some thought to myself. Father has always told me tales of how the Ronkans worshipped a great serpent as their guardian and protector, but there were no clear records of its physical appearance. On the night that darkness returned to the skies, the small creature we now know well arrived before us wearing that curious hat. Intrigued, I followed after it. It led me through the Revel, where I saw that the passage to our central homeland was at long last open once more. Jumping for joy, I picked the small creature up and ran home to share the news with Father. With tears in his eyes, he gazed at me deeply and spoke these words. The great serpent itself has arrived to guide us home. In that moment, I knew it must be so. A moment of divine inspiration, no doubt, and not altogether unlike my own. Yes, this is most fascinating indeed. In my own case, the great serpent has appeared before me in my visions for as long as I can remember. Time and time again, it shared with me the words of wisdom that I so dutifully recorded in the Gospel of Quinford. One day, it called out to me with a terrifying scream, warning of a great calamity that was to befall the Greatwood if I did not rise to action. It was shortly after that we came upon the tiny creature in the forest, and I recognized it immediately as the incarnation of our divine protector. It is clear now that all was leading up to this day. Its first appearance in my visions, our meeting, all had been part of the great serpent's grand design to restore peace, harmony, and prosperity to the forest. Truly, we would have never been able to rediscover our history, nor overcome the spread of the plague, were it not for the serpent's guidance and wisdom. Scree? Clearly, your forefathers revered the great serpent as well. Why else would they have engraved it atop the final stela, buried deepest and furthest from the Sin Eater's reach? Now, this immaculately preserved stela stands before us, incontrovertible proof that this tiny creature is indeed that which we all instinctively perceived it to be, the manifestation of Ronka's divine protector, who hath come once more in our time of need to guide our people through trying times and into a new generation of peace and prosperity. Scree! Last time, after its work was done, the great serpent left us, going off to some place where only gods dare tread. Actually, it's been following Brilliant out on her adventures, you know. What nonsense is this, Valen? Clearly, the great serpent has been watching over us all this time. In any event, it is clear that we owe the serpent a great debt of gratitude. It would be remiss of us not to make pilgrimage to the site where we might properly pay obeisance. It would like nothing more than to pay us obeisance, Master Quinford, but there is no telling where the serpent has gone. Where might we go if it mightn't hear our words? Fear not, my young Qitari friend, for I know just the place. The ancestral slumbering place of the great serpent, the mighty crystal that has appeared before me many time and again in my visions. I speak of none other than the fruit of the protector, cradled amidst the waters of Lake Mekta. Valen and I make the trek there nigh every day to express our gratitude to the great serpent for deigning to share its divine guidance with us. Don't look at me like that, Brilliant. I don't go every time, and when I did, it was just to keep Quinford here out of trouble. And just how should we go expressing our gratitude to the great serpent? An astute question, my young friend. If you wish, I would be happy to share with you some choice passages from the Gospel of Quinford that would be most suitable for the occasion. For example, there is chapter 15, verse 5, which begins as follows. Oh, hearken unto the heavenly scream. Never mind Quinford's ramblings. I'm sure the serpent would appreciate it all the more if you thanked it in your own words. And so without the rest of us, trust me. Thank you, Valen. I believe I will do just that. Glory be the Scree. I was afraid Quinford's rambling would go to Chakarl's head, but the boy seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Ah, but of course, how could I forget chapter 9, verse 11, and chapter... and chapter 2, verse 2. Oh, if only I had the time to share the entire gospel with my Qitari friend. Run, Chakarl. Run. Anyway, let's head on over to wherever we're going. Where's the exit? There it is. Okay, yeah, over by the sea, over by the water, like they said. Where's the exit? There it is. So we're just gonna pay our respects to the great serpent of Ronka. Actually, he's been following Brilliant along on his adventures. Okay, Valen. Okay. Well, here I am, but what words can truly convey my feelings to the great serpent? Hearken unto the heavenly scree. You could just say thank you. Perhaps I should keep it simple. Yes. Oh, great serpent, thank you ever so much for watching over us. You have my most sincerest gratitude. It would be your guidance that my people... It was by your guidance that my people have reclaimed our history, and that I have made so many new friends and allies. I promise that we will never forget you, and pass down tales of your for generations and generations to come. Ooh. What is happening? Do you think the serpent heard my words? Sure. Scree, scree! Oh, that was nice. When the crystal glimmered and glowed, it almost felt like it was speaking to me. Do you believe this means the serpent heard my words? At the very least, I take heart in knowing that I have conveyed my thanks to the serpent, and to all our new friends throughout the forest. And with this, I can return to Father in the stopple with my head held high. Alright, let's teleport over to Finale and head back to Hopple's Stopple. And then that will be the last of the Qitari quests. And that'll be 2 of the 3 Shadowbringers tribal quests done. Or quest lines done. I still have a little bit more to do on the Pixie quests. Alright. Qitari Natal. Let's talk to Qitari Natal first. Oh, I simply must take Father to see the Great Serpent's home. I cannot thank you enough for accompanying my son throughout the forest. To the end you have gone above and beyond on our behalf. It is a debt of gratitude the Qitari will not soon forget. In reclaiming our heritage and history, we have also rekindled the time-honored bonds of friendship with our fellow residents of Raktika. The Knight Blessed, the Vis, the Great Serpent, and not least of all, Brillian, ally of Ronka. All have played a part in events that will be etched in the annals of history. Yes, the stewards shall see to it that these events are handed down to our children and our children's children, and so on until long after we ourselves are gone. You have my word. In the meantime, we shall continue our excavation of the tunnels beneath the stopple. I have even considered commissioning the creation of a new stela, in which all we have gleaned in recent days may be recorded for posterity. Father and I might not have seen eye to eye in our impertitations of history, but I can assure you that we are of like mind regarding the future we would forge for our people. Oh, how you have grown, Jakarl. It nigh brings tears to my eye. Thank you for everything, Brillian. I know that there are many places you must journey, but know that you will always have a home here in the stopple. Is that not so, O Great Serpent? It still looks so goofy. Glory be to the Scree. Reputation is increased to Bloodsworn. You have achieved Bloodsworn reputation with the Stewards. You receive experience points, bonus. Yeah. I'm already maxed gatherers, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's check out the reward we got. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We got the Beheaded Spirit of Ronka. And I get the Qitari Framing Kit, which I think I forgot to grab the Dwarf one earlier. And then I can get some grade 8 materia for later. Let's go ahead and collect these. And then that's all for the Qitari quest. Finished off 2 of the Shadowbringers tribal quest lines. And now I'm actually going to head over back to the... Let me head on back over to the Dwarf thing, because I think I forgot to grab the Framing Kit. Let me go ahead and just check that real quick. And then we'll go ahead and head on over and start the quest to unlock the Smileton dungeon. Let me go ahead and update the quest, not quest text, the stream text. Okay, no, did I forget the Framing Kit? Yep, I did. And that's all that's left. Okay, now then, I believe the Smileton dungeon starts from... Let me make the text a bit smaller. That's a bit better. Okay, so it starts at in Old Charlian from the panic-stricken Loprits. Let's head on over to Old Charlian. We'll take a trip to Limsa and then run through there. Okay, we'll just go head on over to the boat. The Arcanist Guild, and then run on over to the boat. Alright, Sailor, let's head on over. Oh, by the way, I did finish the Endwalker sightseeing log. So I've actually finished every single sightseeing log in the game. Obviously the worst one's of Realm Reborn. Because like the thing that really makes it stupid is that you can only do the first half, or not even the first half, it's like the first 20. Oh, there's cutting the cheese. That's the quest that we need. Go ahead and do it as warrior. Doesn't really matter. And before we start this quest, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, because that was a bit more talking. Yeah, there we go. Panic-stricken Loprit. That's what we need. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break. So is there somewhere to sit down? Yeah, let's just stand here. Alright. Time for a quick break. Time to get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to, and I'll be right back. Alright. Let's get back to it. You talk to the panic-stricken Lopert over here. And this should unlock the Smileton dungeon for us. Cutting the cheese. Oh no. This panic-stricken Lopert is just desperate for the aid of an able-bodied adventurer. Brilliant! Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's absolutely terrible, awful, an emergency of cataclysmic proportions. What is it? I don't actually know. I don't know, actually. They didn't say, but it does sound simply dreadful. What I do know is Buildingway has been asking after you. He said if I happen to see you, I should tell you to hurry to Kyoto's Knolls with all haste. Well, what are you standing around here for? Away with you! I was about to say, kick the Lopert. That'd be a great sight to see go whee. But don't kick the little bunny. Anyway, where do I need to go? Oh, okay, the moon, of course. Of course, I gotta go to the moon. Let's go ahead and just teleport over there. Because there's basically no efficient way for me to get there. Okay, where are we going? That is quite a sight. And that's like that's the shape of not Heidland. It's close to the shape of Eorzea. Like Thanalin, Lenosha, the Black Shroud, and then Ishgard and the Dravanian lands up there. And then apparently this is gonna be like Alamigo, and then not Alamigo. This is Girabania, but then there's a continent over here that we don't know what this is, unless it's the eastern coast. But that should be on the other side. Anyway, we got it done. This is not what we're doing today. Oops, gotta go down. He's right here. Hello, Buildingway. You're here, and not a moment too soon. Sorry to call you here so abruptly, but you were the first person who came to mind that might be able to help. Oops, sorry. Do you recall the domiciles we were planning to build for the evacuation? I don't mean to brag, but they were immaculate, positively perfect, except, of course, for the ever so small oversight that being 3 times as larger than necessary. At least that's what I believed before speaking with Urianger. I learned a lot from him. What we should and shouldn't make of the domiciles, and I began making changes. Small at first, but they soon became much bigger, more drastic. By the way, I'd swear I was drawing upon a wholly new plan by the minute. But I was too ambitious. The myriad plans I dreamed up overwhelmed our automated construction machine, the Big Cheese. Really? And this quest is called Cutting the Cheese? Oh well. Even as we speak, it's burrowing underground with reckless abandon. If we don't stop it, the domiciles will be the least of our problems. The entire moon is likely to end up looking like a truckle of hole-filled cheese. And it's the moon! The moon is just cheese! First there were rabbits on the moon, now the moon is full of cheese? Anyway. Delectable? Perhaps, but utterly unfit for habitation. We tried going after it ourselves, but the survey team never made it past the security systems down there. At least, I don't think so. They've yet to return and aren't answering our communications. This is just going from bad to worse. I'd rather not resort to brute force, but I can think of no other way, and no other person, to see the deed done. Would you be willing to go down there and stop the Big Cheese? Sure. Do I get gear? And loot? Thank you. Head down to the Smileton, and I'll see that you're let in. Smileton now accessible. Cool. Let me go ahead and see if anyone wants to run this. Last time people, one person replied, but just want to see if I can get Q. Just slightly faster Q. Thankfully, these are current content dungeons, and it's level 90, so they're in the 90 dungeon roulette, which makes them easy to get people to do them with. Okay, looks like somebody wants to. I'll just wait a minute to see, wait for this person to finish up. At least they said they're doing a hunt, which should hopefully not take too long. This quest is a bit goofy. I didn't realize that, when they started talking about cheese, I didn't realize, it took me a second to make the connection between the moon and being cheese and everything. Go ahead and reset my level 90 dungeon Wondrous Tales, so I can get another sticker. Of course, it does the dungeon one, even though I haven't unlocked like any of this other stuff that I can do. I can do deep dungeon, and I actually have these extremes. Well, yeah, I have these extremes unlocked, but I'm not gonna do those. Also gave me some more tomestones, because I spent a bunch of them getting the, buying some of my materials for the my Gatherer Indicator set, and I actually started doing some of the crafting today. One thing that's a little bit annoying, since I crafted my crafting indicator set, I ended up removing all the materia and stuff. The problem is that my CP, all my stats are actually lower than they were. Well, my control is higher because I have melded on control materia. But with the budget set, they had me meld on some craftsmanship and CP. So my CP was actually higher than it was before. So it's actually making it a little bit harder to craft this other stuff. Now, of course, I could resolve this by getting all the materia I need, but I want to gradually do the materia and not spend a ton of money on it if possible. I also got enough regular tomestones to do the next step on my Heaven's Ward Dark Knight anima weapon, but I think I accidentally bought the wrong thing for the next step, so I need to figure that out eventually. Actually, the only anima weapon that I've done so far is the Dragoon one, and which I was extremely underwhelmed by, because it's like a glowy dragon at the end, which is like, sure, but I don't like it. The Dark Knight one doesn't look too bad, though. It's that's just as a nice glow. Nice purple red glow thing. I don't really like this handguard, but overall it's fine. We'll give it a couple more minutes to see if that person's ready. When I'm done with the stream, I'm planning on probably trying to do some more crafting. The issue is that my alchemist and goldsmith have slightly too low CP. So even with these like cheap cunning craftsman teas, the extra 10 CP that I get from them is not quite enough. I think I melded on some extra CP materia. Yeah, I put a little bit of CP material. I got +7 for each of them. So I think that's just barely enough to be able to do it with this tea and some of the Saitova now, or however you say this. Vaunon, whatever, the tea. An herbal drink with the impressive medicinal properties, sometimes called mountain tea. Then I have these like craftsmanship and control drinks. Because I was testing out doing the single person Shadowbringers map to see if like I could make gil off of that, because they're only like 5k each. But even with the raw gil, there's no like big rewards that can give you much profit, because I did like 10 of them and I think I was at a negative at the end of it. It really wasn't worth it. If you're gonna do maps, you gotta do the 8-man maps. Which one of these people were... Oh, okay, that's her. For next streams, I'm thinking Saturday we'll do Pandemonium, do the first leg of Pandemonium, and then Sunday I'll probably just try and take it easy and try doing the role quests and maybe Studium deliveries, see how far we get in each of those. Unfortunately, I don't have a physical range DPS to be able to do... Well, actually, I don't know how the role quests work. There might just be a tank healer and single DPS. Is in Shadowbringers, there was the physical and the magical, and I still don't have a magical. Yeah, I do. What I'm talking about, I have Summoner. Yeah, I have Summoner and Black Mage. So I can do, I can actually do magical if we need it. me give that person one more minute for them to finish up. Assuming they even remember. Okay, I think they're almost done. You know, I actually have this, the cunning materia 10, but this isn't used at all. Like, there's some level 9 ones that are used for overmelding, but the, the 10 ones aren't used at all, so I just threw a couple on the goldsmithing and alchemist, and that got me just enough CP for what I needed. I still need to actually make all of the tools for crafting and gathering, but I'll figure that out later. I also purposely grabbed extra of the timed nodes for the gathering stuff, so I should have some extras left over. It's a little annoying because these two are the only ones that I can do on with my retainers. So, but the rest of them I have to actually go into the nodes, or at least I have to do I have to do at least the botanist ones, since I only have a mining retainer, mining and combat retainer. I honestly should have just queued up. I thought they were gonna be done a bit quicker than this. It's been like 7 minutes. I'm just gonna get in queue, and if that person... Oh, never mind. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the Smileton dungeon. Oh, I've seen this. I've seen this dungeon before. Alright, let's get going. What in blazes is wrong with this doors? Yeah, I've seen this dungeon before, and it, like, I didn't understand it at all. We're gonna double pull this. See what the healer can do. That went pretty well. I mean, blood wedding is amazing, so Blood Wedding and just use the Vengeance. You fat-tailed idiot. These comments from the Loperts. I saw that the Scholar had Excognition on, so I didn't worry about my health getting low. That's one thing that was always annoying when I would play Scholar, is that I would put Excognition on the tank, which will heal them for a pretty large amount if their health gets below 50%. But then the tank would like just not get knocked down low enough. And it would just end up wearing off. Or like they'd somehow heal up. Got one frowny face debuff. Oh, that's how it works. Okay. Off my lawn. I'll need to watch and see the direction that everyone else is doing. See if I can figure out how the mechanic works. You know, they're upside down, which means they're gonna swap. I'm taking more damage from that, so let's go ahead and do... So they've all got frowny face. Oh! I see. I get it. Yeah, and then I got pushed back into a frowny face, which is why I ended up dying. Okay. That makes sense. And now I've got a smiley face. Okay, I think I get it now. Of course, now the fight's over. I need to turn up the music ever so slightly. Like 46 to 48? Yeah, that sounds good. Just a tiny bit. I want to make sure I have aggro on everything before I try and pull a second pack. See, is that useful? Nope. Just wait a second to activate Blood Wedding. I'm not going to take that much damage. Meant to press, didn't mean to press that ability. Meant to hit arm's length. Ended up hitting Thrill of Battle. Oh, right. Frame worker. Probably shouldn't stand on that side. I'm gonna need to pick these guys up. Okay, they're both leaping that way, so let's stay over here. Yeah, we're gonna want to move over here. Yeah. Oh, wrong way. Okay, we're good. Let's see. I don't need that. I could use that. No, I can't. I already have that. Don't I? I believe I already have a bracelet. Oh, I have the Lunar Envoy one, that's why. Yeah, I don't need this. Oh, is this the big cheese? See, I don't need that. I need to get aggro on this last one. Why is that marked A? Just looking over there. So let's pull them directly onto the bridge. Probably should have held on to that. I really didn't need to use bloodwetting there. There we go. That's the big cheese, or at least a part of him. The big cheese smile maker. I mean, this is Smileton. Okay, I could Yeah, I could use that, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna zoom out to make sure, okay, they're going over there, so I'm gonna stay over here. Ah, okay, I get it. Probably shouldn't stand where the landmine is. Stand over here again. Oops. Nope, this one is the safe one this time. Yeah, the landmine's over there, so let's make sure not to get too close to it like I did last time. Yeah, so here. Yep. We didn't want to go to that top right corner because the landmine was over there. Oops. I didn't see what telegraphed that attack. Probably just go ahead and LB. There we go. I really like playing Warrior. It's probably my favorite class. Alright, what did I get here? Is this better? This is a ring. Yes, slightly better ring. Can't use that. That's I already have a better gear for that. And some materia, very nice. You're back! What happened to the big cheese? It's gone? I suppose that's a mite better than the alternative. And you say the survey team is safe? Oh, thank heavens! Smileton was meant to be a paradise, and the big cheese its architect. It was designed to learn what it is that makes people happy, and make manifest whatever we can dream up. No matter how seemingly impossible. But I've been unduly fickle, every new plan contradicting the last. I fear my indecisiveness overloaded the big cheese, and it lost sight of what true happiness is. All I wanted was to make the people of Theories happy, and to look upon their smiling faces. You still can. Just take your time, think things through, and all will be well. Have you considered visiting residential areas of Theories for inspiration? That's not a bad idea. Now there's an idea. I mean, sure, Uriange has been incredibly helpful with his advice, but actually seeing how people live would surely be more informative than simply hearing about it. And now that the final days have been averted, there's no longer a need to rush. I'll be sure to bear that in mind so nothing like this happens again. Perhaps I'll start with something simple like furniture. That's not simple. Oh, and I can design a new automated system to build them. I'll call it the bigger cheese. Sure. Them ears. Face. Well, that's all I had planned for today. So let's just fly on up here and say goodbye to this. That's gonna be all for today. We had a fun time, finished up the Qitari, or the Dwarf tribal quest line, and the Qitari tribal quest line, and we got done, finished the Smileton dungeon. I'd say that's a pretty productive day. Next time, next planned stream is Saturday, when we're going to start the Pandemonium Raid series. I doubt we'll be able to get through the entirety of the first leg, but hopefully we'll be able to get through most of it. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Hope you guys had a good time. Next stream, like I said, is going to be on Saturday. Well, next planned stream. I keep saying that like I'm planning on like I might actually do other streams. I'm going to work on that, but first I want to work on getting ahead on editing and stuff. And going to bed on time. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.